Morning sunshines, you're waking up to some pretty big Pokemon news in the Pokemon world. And this is particularly relevant because it's been too quiet and people are hoping for a brand new game, which we know is coming in Pokemon Legends ZA in the near future. Well, this is another game entirely that has not been announced, that nobody spoke about or announced or indicated at all, but it was included in the big Terra leak that we just got, and it includes gameplay footage. There's a lot of information about this game. This was codenamed Rodeo. This is a Pokemon Rodeo game, and it's exactly what you see in the picture right here. And if you're wondering what you're seeing, well, it's people riding Pokemon, running around and battling, and there are 4 people in the picture. That's relevant, and there's a lot to this. Let's get into the details of this cool game, all right? First of all, it's codenamed Rodeo, but that was in development since 2019, and then it was scrapped, okay? It was completely scrapped. However, there's a brand new regurgitation of this called, renamed, codename, Synapse. So that is very likely what this is, because there's a lot of development work having gone into this, and we're going to see some of the gameplay to showcase that in a second. So it's very unlikely that it was just entirely scrapped and discarded completely. They're definitely going to, like, you know Pokemon by now, they're going to rehash stuff they already have, and they already have a lot of this. So this is very likely the new online co-op game we're going to be getting. Now, it is a co-op game with up to 4 players being able to play together. The plot is you ride around Pokemon and throw your other Pokeballs to battle big giant Pokemon like this. So it's almost like a 4-player co-op on Nintendo Switch with good graphics, version of like the Pokemon Go raids or something like that. But it's up to 4 people only, and you'll be battling giant Pokemon like this, as you can see in the picture right here. Some more images showcasing the trainer riding a Garchomp, and yeah, we will see footage of that in a sec. And the Garchomp's got like these red eyes, looks like an alpha Garchomp. But she's also holding a Pokeball. I don't think that's Garchomp's Pokeball necessarily, because the description of this game is you're riding around on your Pokemon and you're throwing Pokeballs for other Pokemon to attack the giant Pokemon. And anyway, here's another image of that said Garchomp doing something, maybe an attack, who knows. This is a Japanese screen showing some of the details for the selling point of the game, and one of the main selling points, the first part there, is that you ride around on Pokemon and you move around a arena or whatever to attack the big Pokemon on top of your own ride Pokemon. It's pretty fun. And then you also have your handheld Pokeballs, and it will show you some cases that when you throw your Pokeball, it's basically like attacking with one of your Pokemon inside. So you got Pikachu using one of its high-speed electrical attacks. You got Piplup using a long-range attack that fires water, and Lucario flying knee attack. All right, so that's another dimension to attack how the combat works in this game. This screen goes into some of the cosmetics. It looks like we have some trainer cosmetic ideas here. This is of course Sword and Shield, and yes, because it's Sword and Shield, because this was in development since back in 2019. Do consider that, folks. But these are not from Sword and Shield, not at all. These are probably from this game, maybe. So that's kind of cool. I mean, they look much more human-like, anime human-like, I mean, you know. And then the third point here, rather, goes into how it's 4-player, up to 4-player co-op, which is a pretty cool concept. We would have liked to have gotten something like that. And you can see on there, you got that little picture that I just showed you at the beginning. So this shows some more mechanics of the game, and it's also key evidence that this is actually the old cancelled Rodeo renewed into the currently being developed Synapse, okay? Because the leaker specifically gave us information about how the new co-op game, and you probably remember this from previous leaks that you've seen elsewhere or in my videos, the currently on new game that's not Gen 10 and not PLZA is a co-op game inspired by Splatoon, and this is the document for Rodeo, which is cancelled, which also references Splatoon. And of course, Synapse is still in the pipeline, so this is very key evidence that this is the same game. And what we got here is information about the mechanic. You can see here berries, all right, but these are actually ether crystals, elemental ether crystals that you can use with this glove mechanic down here. So you're going to be riding your Pokemon around Rodeo style, and you're going to be using this glove and the elemental ethers to empower your Pokemon somehow, okay? That's going to be adding are enhancing their effects. All right, that's basically what this document is about. It's partially the Splatoon inspired thing going on here. Is that picture there? This is an official document for this game, of course, so that is definitely what the reference for Splatoon-like was. It's very likely just how vague that was, that it's not really going to be like Splatoon, it's just taking this inspiration from Splatoon, and the leaker or someone saw this document and said, oh, there's this new rodeo game, it's kind of like Splatoon, because they saw this picture, and that's it. They didn't actually put together the pieces and say, oh, it's actually a totally different game, they just have the Splatoon picture. That's it. So it's very, very likely that's what's going on here with that. Alright, it's time to look at the gameplay footage. This is the new game Rodeo, okay? It's very hard to make out, I dare say, but this is as good as it's gonna get. The quality is not amazing, but it looks like a little more of an cartoony-ish, tiny little cartoony-ish art style to Pokemon Legends Arceus. The graphics look a little smoother, in fairness, and you can see here that they're sending the Piplup on a wave, alright? So she's riding her Garchomp right there in the video, and she's deploying Piplup. It's using a wave attack, as you can see, like that. That's it. I mean, that's 4 seconds of gameplay right there. But we've got more. There are some concept arts we'll get to as we go through this. They're very, very nice. I mean, it looks beautiful. Paradise. These are just concept arts, and you guys should know that games do deviate very, very wildly off of the concept art that they show. But that is the trainer riding a Garchomp, and you can see another trainer riding maybe a Garchomp in the back, in the distance there, over the across there. That's pretty interesting. And then you got a big giant tree, the Deku tree, and the trainer just standing by herself. All right, more gameplay time. Here we have in-game footage of the trainer deploying her Garchomp for like surf in the ground. All right, it is of course a ground type, so probably dig or something like that. And going quite quick as well, which is quite cool. That's sick, that's sick. That is a couple of seconds of gameplay there, but there's loads more, folks. There's so much footage for this. Moving on to the next one, we got riding Decidueye and the camera moving about. It actually looks gorgeous, and I'm hoping Pokemon Legends ZA looks more like this, because they did specify that Pokemon Legends ZA isn't just going to be a copy of Pokemon Legends Arceus graphic style. It's actually going to be more similar, but not exactly like Pokemon Scarlet Violet. So I'd imagine this. This is what I imagine. Now, this is not Pokemon Legends ZA. This is not footage from PLZA. This is from Rodeo. This is the game that we are also expecting to get, codenamed Synapse. I think this one's still in development, and it's going to be coming at some point in the future. It's going to be for mobiles and Nintendo Switch. I didn't actually say that, but it is going to be for mobile and Nintendo Switch, apparently. So that's something to look forward to, which means it's also not going to be a huge task force of a game. It's not going to be pressing on your systems, because if you want to be able to run well on mobile, it's going to have to be able to be a little toned down. Moving on to the next one, we got the Electivire ride here. She looks like she's being attacked, but she's actually being carried by his tail. And here he is using his moves. Apparently, you can also use, the riding Pokemon can also use moves. So it's not just the Pokemon you deploy from your hand Pokeballs. That's it. So a bit of a fighting game, and I wonder if we'll get to see footage of the giant Pokemon. I'm not sure, but there is some test footage by the looks of it here to enjoy. Moving on to the next one, Samurott. She's a ride in it, and not doing anything else, just chilling, just standing there. The graphics actually look good. I mean, I don't know. I think they look amazing. Actually, I think they look really good. They look way better than Scarlet Violet. Yeah, they look way better than Scarlet Violet. And some footage of Geodude being deployed and deploying a force field, alright? So it looks like a protective Pokemon that you can have on board to keep yourself a little bit protected. She's still riding the Electivire at this point, and we saw Electivire there a second ago in the other videos doing some fighting work. So that's more footage of some of the abilities the Pokemon can have. And more footage of you riding around Garchomp right here. And you can see a bunch of wild Pokemon Mimikyu chasing you. And Piplup's just roaming about. Geodude's there. And then there's whatever that blue thing is in the background. Wobbuffet. And this is what it looks like. This is the game. It looks pretty good. I don't know. I want to get my hands on this soon. But it looks like a lot of progress has been done on the development side of this game, folks. This is not far off. And the way I'm picturing the release dates now is we're going to get PLZA early next year, like spring-ish. And then this will be towards the second half of that year, this game. And then next year will be Gen 10. Just whatever you do, guys, don't mess with Samurott. He's gonna kill you. And more footage. Here we have her deploying Piplup, shooting some bubble bullets. This is actually something that was described in one of the documents we went over with the Japanese translations from there. And Garchomp does look a little frail. I don't know, it looks a little hungry. Here we have Geodude once again, coming out doing an attack instead of the force field. You can see him bashing the ground a few times. Lots of animation going on there of the rocks spluttering all over the place. Sick, man. Wobbuffet there is down there, standing there in the background. Probably similar area to what we just saw running around on Garchomp a second ago. Now we have Piplup riding the Surf Wave again through an enemy this time, which is the Wobbuffet. You can see a Geodude just chilling in the background as well. So that is how the attack will work. So you go around and you can attack Pokemon while riding your Pokemon. Sick, 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 sick. There's actually some building structures in the background here as well. We can see a little bit of buildings over here. And here's Piplup doing a dance for us. Just to round off things nicely, he is going to town with those baby feet. Just splottering and splashing about with his hottest moves. He's got it going on. This is probably the longest clip actually. This is 24 seconds. I thought it was repeating. Alright, sick. So the objective of this game is kind of similar to what we were doing in Pokemon Legends Arceus, which was taming some rogue beast Pokemon, a rampaging Pokemon per se, and that's exactly what this girl's doing in this footage right here. She's actually taming the Garchomp, which explains why the Garchomp has red eyes, sort of similar to an alpha, and she tames it and it becomes hers, her ride Pokemon, her mount. So that's what we were seeing there. That's really, really interesting. That looks like a bit of fun, in fairness. And that explains why you have so many different mounts too. Looks like you'll have a good choice of different mounts you can pick and use. However, I don't know really how it ties in with the handheld Pokemon yet, because there's not really too many details for the game out at the moment. But so far it looks cool, and it's so far, as from what we know, this is the game we're going to be getting. Some concept art for our Garchomp that we just saw being ridden around, very nice, just some concept art though. And what you probably noticed in some of the pictures that we've seen was how Garchomp had some weird markings on it which possibly looked like paint. Well, yes, it looks like you're going to be able to customize. Forget customizing Pokeballs. Customize the Pokemon itself. Just slap some stickers on it there, and we can get little hearts and moons and stars and zigzags all over our Garchomp here. And that's that. This is again tying into the Splatoon style game, guys. And you might be wondering, how do we paint our Pokemon? Well, guns. Guns are the answer, folks. That's why they're suing Palworld, because they're going to be adding guns in a future upcoming game. I actually wouldn't be surprised if that's true, what I just said, but they're coming second to that, so Nintendo don't really have a foot to stand on this one. We'll see how that lawsuit turns out, but either way, it looks like you got little paintballs, orange and purple, same colors as Splatoon, that you got into this little machine here. You can put in your gun, you can put it on there, it's like a little paint gun, and you equip it like James Bond, and then bam, you fire. This is some more artwork for that. We got a little Paint Bro over here, an NPC, and Smeargle is key to here. And we also have a shiny version, which is nice, an inclusion here, and the paint gun. Another view of our protagonists, folks, that we just saw a little bit earlier about decorating them. So there we go. Full body artwork. And the full game controls, folks, is what you might expect. So L over on the left-hand side on your Switch there is walking and running. Then you got the 4 arrows just below that, which is switching skills and items, fellas. That's what you might expect on there. Y is a weak attack, X is the strong attack, A is to interact, and then B is to evade. Alright, so we have some of those mechanics kind of similar to how you imagine those boss fights in Pokemon Legends ZA. And then R is camera, as you might expect. ZR is hand movement, and then item is ZL, use item there. And normal R is activate your technique. And then you got some shortcut options down in the lower left corner there, which is while you're holding ZL, you can use B, X, A, and Y for switching hand moves or hand attacks. and also your items. So that's that. Well, folks, that's everything we seem to have for the brand new game, codenamed Synapse, which we are absolutely going to be getting in the future on Nintendo Switch and smartphones. So, looks cool. Co-op, Splatoon inspired to a very limited degree, folks, based on what we've just seen. And some cool gameplay, honestly. It looks like a fun game. Its artistic style looks nice, actually. It looks quite good. So I can't wait to see what the final product is. And hopefully my channel does not get deleted by me posting this video. Drop a sub, and I'll see you around in the next video. Have a good one. Bye.